y'all, welcome to my channel, Sandy Toe Tarot, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. I'm going to do a weekly update this week, just tarot tips for the week. So this is going to be the reading for the week of December 6th through 12th, and I will read whatever, well, I'm going to start with just what are the energies for the week, and then I will pull a couple of other cards. I'll pull advice from Spirit for just general how to handle the week, and then also a card that will tell us what actions, if any, you need to take about the situation, whatever it is that's coming up. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your likes, for giving the videos a thumb up when you like them. It does help the channel. Thank you for your comments. I love to read your comments and what's going on with you and what pile you chose, and specifically if it speaks to you, if it resonates with you, and I'd really like to hear about that. But I'll listen to any kind of feedback that you want to provide. If you want to provide some constructive feedback, as long as it is constructive and not just to be mean, I'm definitely open to anything. If you have not already done so, please do subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. And feel free to share my videos or my channel with anybody that you think might be interested or you think it might help. We are coming into this Christmas season, so I'm very excited about that, and it's going to be a real nice holiday. I think people are definitely into the real spirit of Christmas this year and not so much into all the presents and the chaos and the craziness that usually happens around the holidays. I think with 2020 being the way it was, people are just really appreciative to be able to spend time with family and to do fun things together. So I like that. So if you're not familiar with pick-a-cards, I will put the camera down and you will be able to choose from the 3 different piles that are down here. I'll put timestamps in the description box below, and that way you can go directly to your reading and you don't have to go through all of the video to wait for the reading that you've chosen. So let's go ahead and get started for the weekly tarot tips for December 6th through 12th. Welcome back, you guys. So these are going to be the options for the weekly reading for December 6th through 12th. I chose these particular stones just because they reminded me of wintertime and Christmas. I wasn't going to read like the meaning of the stone, but I have decided to do that. I'll do that whenever you go to your particular reading. But this is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. On pile 1, we have a Sodalite. On pile 2, a clear quartz crystal. And on pile 3, a Verdite quartz. Okay. So this is just a tarot tips for the week. It's going to be a general message, what's the energy or what's coming up this week, and then there'll be some advice from Spirit on just general advice, words of wisdom for the week, and how to handle any situations that may come up, and then advice on what you should do or what action you need to take, if any, for whatever is in these cards here. Again, I will put timestamps in the description box below so you can go directly to your reading, and this is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So make your choice, and I'll see you at your reading. Welcome back, you guys. If you chose pile 1, these are going to be your messages for the week. I chose this Sodalite because it reminded me of a night sky in the wintertime. And incidentally, that's kind of the meaning for the stone. It's been associated with the heavens for a long time. It's also associated with wisdom, clarity of thought, creativity, and cosmic beauty. So it is also associated with the third eye chakra, and it promotes harmony and balance. All right, I'm going to pull these all out at the same time this week. I chose tarot cards to get general energies and general messages, and then I chose these oracle cards for guidance, and we'll get into those in a little bit. For tarot, you got the 8 of Pentacles, and this is the Radiant Rider-Waite deck too. You got the 8 of Pentacles, you got the 3 of Wands, and you got the 8 of Swords. So that's 2 8s. Ambition, drive. Just for further clarification from tarot, I chose a couple of the Secrets of Tarot. This is the Secrets of Tarot deck by Amanda Hall. So I chose a couple of these for additional messages, and you got the King of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles again. So that's good. That makes this message very clear. Whenever you have 2 of the same, that's just bringing home that message. That's saying, yes, that's what this week is about. So we'll talk about that 8 of Pentacles here in a minute. For the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, we got Spring, see your seeds grow. And for the Sacred Traveler, we got Wandering Path, enjoy the journey. Okay, so the 8 of Pentacles is the card of apprenticeship. It is the card of deciding what it is that you love, taking it up, and focusing on nothing but that. If you notice, this guy is very focused on that one pentacle, but it's something that he absolutely loves to do. And I always think of hobbies when I see the 8 of Pentacles come up. It's like people who have taken what they love and turned it into a money-making venture. So I feel like for some of you this week, you are deciding what it is, what that is for you. The 8 of Swords is a sword of being boxed in. It can be self-imposed limitations that you place on yourself. Like, I can't see a way forward. I don't know which way to go. I don't know what career I want to pursue. I don't know who I want to hang out with. I don't know anything. It feels like everything that I try to do just is shut down. So this is a card of being boxed in. It's kind of a difficult energy. And with this being over here, this tells me that that is where you have been, and that's where we come to this week. You've kind of felt a little boxed in, like there's no escape. I have no idea which direction to go in. I do not know what to do. If you notice, this person is blindfolded, and these 8 swords do not completely surround her. So if she took off the blindfolds, she could see that this tie, whatever it is that she's tied up in, is very loosely tied. She can get out of it. And there is a way through. There is a way out of those swords. She is not completely blocked or surrounded, but she has to take that blindfold off and look at the situation. That's what's happening this week. You've got the King of Swords down here, which could be a person. You could be a Libra. It can be an air sign. It can be an older gentleman who is very much a fair and just person. That's kind of what Libra is all about. They're about fairness and justice. They're about balance. They are not as emotional as like a King of Cups would be. They are ruled by their head. They're very intelligent people. So they're logical and great thinkers. This guy's not as fun as like the King of Wands would be. He's not as adventurous and fun, but he is so rock solid. His word is his bond. If he says something, you can count on it being true. So this may be the energy that you embody this week. Like you have gone within, you have discovered somehow something happened, and you have discovered what your sword of truth is. What is your truth? What is important to you? What do you love? And you're taking what it is that you love, and you're pursuing it with great passion and great, just hard work, really. You're focusing so completely on what it is that you've decided that you love and that you want to do. So interestingly enough, this 3 of Wands kind of is a card of going out into the world. In the Two of Wands, the person is standing, the guy, it is a man, is standing on the edge of the cliff looking off at the ocean. That's an ocean there. Looking off across the world. He actually has a world in his hand. A lot of times it's depicted with the world in the hands. But he's looking out at the world and trying to decide which direction he wants to go in. Which of those wands does he want to take up, and what does he want to pursue? In the Three of Wands, he's made the decision and he's made the first steps towards moving toward whatever that is that he decided that he wanted. So that's what's happening. You have made a decision about what it is that you love, and whatever it is that you love, you're taking it up and you're pursuing it with a lot of focus and a lot of intention. That doesn't mean that to the exclusion of everything else. It just means that you have made a determination that this is what you want to do, and this is the direction that you want to go in, and you've taken up that wand and you're moving in that direction. So that's very exciting, you guys. And also this promises that this will be very successful, whatever this thing that you love is, and you've decided to pursue it as kind of a job. Just as an example, you get this card a lot of times when you grow up in a family and they think you need to be a doctor or a lawyer, or there's just that, I grew up in the Midwest, so I call it a Midwest mentality. When I was growing up, there was no way that you would be encouraged to pursue something artistic like music or art or something like that, to pursue it to the detriment of your day job, right? You have to have a 9-to-5 job. You have to pay the bills. It's a very practical mentality in the Midwest. Okay, so you get this card of a lot of times when you say, okay, I'm not doing that. I'm pursuing what I love, and guess what? I think I can make a living at it, and it happens. This is saying that you focus on that. You focus on your talent. You focus on what it is that you love, and the pinnacles just stack up. Okay. So that is where you are at this week. Congratulations. That's awesome. To pursue what you love is just the most wonderful feeling in the world. I've done it both ways. I've been in a job that I needed to have because I just needed to pay the bills, and then I've been in a job that I absolutely loved. So this way's better for sure. Okay, so for these oracle cards, I asked a different question for each one of them. For the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, I asked, what words of wisdom can you give to pile 1 for this message that they're getting this week? And you got spring, see your seeds grow. So this tells me, again, you're growing seeds for success in the future. You're working very hard at it. You've decided, I'm pursuing that. This card tells me that in the springtime, you will see some progress from this. So that's very exciting. What I asked the Sacred Traveler was, what action does pile 1 need to take? If anything, what do they need to do? And you got wandering path, enjoy the journey. Again, this is both very out in the world, traveling, going out with your, maybe this hobby takes you out, away from where you're living right now, into the world a little bit, to different places. There's going to be a journey here for some of you. And it's very exciting. And this is saying, yes, this is fantastic that you're pursuing what you love, but don't get so focused on that you're forgetting to enjoy the journey, because just doing what you love is a gift in itself. So don't forget to enjoy your life as you move out on this wonderful, wonderful journey. And the path is not going to be straightforward. It's a wandering path. But that's part of the fun too. You don't know how it's going to turn out. But you know that you're going to be doing what you love along the way. That's great. Okay. I actually think I'm going to leave it there for pile 1s. I think that message is very succinct and very clear. So good for you for pursuing what you love. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, you guys. If you chose pile 2, these are going to be your messages, your tarot tips for the week of December 6th through the 12th. I chose this clear quartz crystal because it just reminded me of wintertime with snow and ice. So the clear quartz crystal clears the mind, body, and spirit of clutter, and it helps you align with your higher self. So that's pretty cool. All right, so these are going to be your messages for the week. I'm just going to pull it all out at the same time, basically. For the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, you got the Two of Swords, the Emperor card, and the Wheel of Fortune. For just further clarification and messages from tarot, I intended to choose a couple of The Secrets of Tarot by Amanda Hall, but you got 3. You got the Knight of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. For the angels and ancestors, you got Sage, very wise person, be devoted and committed. For the Sacred Traveler, you got Ascending the Mountain, keep going forward. Okay. I don't know if this is in general a good week for business and for business pursuits, but this is actually very similar to pile number 1, but there are some nuances here. There is a little bit of a difference. Okay, so let's start here. I'm looking at this kind of like a 3-card spread, and in a 3-card spread, you kind of look at this is the past or what has brought us to this situation. This is where we are right now, and this is a likely outcome or what's coming up next in the near future. This is the near future. So over here, we got the Two of Swords and the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, knights are sometimes read as young men that are coming in that are offering you something. So if that is what is happening in this situation, this is a young man that is coming in to offer you something in the way of an adventure. I don't know if love is on y'all's mind, but I don't see it in the cards really, but could be that for some of you, some young man's offering some adventure to you. The Two of Swords is the card of being at an impasse. There's a decision that needs to be made. You don't particularly like either one of them. You don't even really want to look at it. This woman has blindfolds on. She's sitting here in front of the water. Water is a lot of times an indication of intuition. So she just intuitively knows that she does not want to make this decision. It's going to be really tough. Neither path is really the one that she wants to choose. So she's kind of trying to hold out. And the message of the card is you can't hold out forever. You're going to have to look at it. You're going to have to make a decision. So another message for the Knights are, for this particular card, is that there's an important letter coming in, some important information coming in that looks like brings us to here. So maybe this is where you have been. You've kind of been at an impasse. So you have a decision that you need to make. You don't really want to make it. You've kind of been holding off on it, and then something happens. Something comes in to change the situation. This brings us to kind of this week. This is what's happening. This is the energy. You have the card of the Emperor. This is an Aries card, maybe major arcana for Aries, but it is also a card. The Aries is that's a huge entrepreneur person, right? They're establishing themselves out in the world. This is the father order. This is through determination and willpower and strength and taking all the necessary steps, earthly steps, to establish yourself out in the world. The Four of Pentacles, incidentally, those look pretty kind of similar. Fours are always it's stability for sure. So the Four of Pentacles indicates that you have financial security, you have stability. Whatever it is that you're working on is bringing you enough. It can be also a card of a little bit of don't be a miser. See how tightly he's holding on to that pentacle there? It kind of indicates sometimes you need to take more risks. You are establishing yourself out in the world. You're doing it methodically. The accepted traditional way. So that's where you are right now. In the near future, however, and maybe this has to do with this important letter, something happens. The wheel moves forward. This is a stagnation. It's kind of like you're doing your work, you're doing what you need to do, you're establishing yourself out in the world. I feel like for a lot of you, that's from a business perspective. It may be just from a leaving home perspective. The Knights are usually young people, so maybe you are just a young person and you're just out there establishing yourself in the world, and you're doing it pretty well. You're doing okay. You've got some stability here. You're doing it the right way. You're doing it the traditional way. You're laying the groundwork and that kind of thing. And then something happens. The Wheel of Fortune is the wheel moving in your favor. Like your hard work is paying off here. But it's also this 10. 10s are endings and beginnings at the same time. So it's the end of a cycle. It's an end of this. It's an end of just having enough. It's an end of having to work so hard to establish yourself out in the world. It's almost saying this is paying off for you in the very near future, and the wheel turns forward and you have a new beginning. And the reason I say in the very near future, the Ace of Swords is always a new beginning. Well, aces, all aces are new beginnings, always. The Ace of Swords is a new beginning out of finding your truth or clarity of thought. It's a victory. It's a new beginning after maybe working really hard. You finally win, and the Wheel of Fortune moves in your favor. Things move forward. The aces are always timing cards for me. They're the seasons. The Ace of Swords is the winter season. So that's why I say this is happening pretty quickly, that the wheel is turning in your favor and you get a new beginning, and sometimes out of adversity. The Ace of Swords is sometimes a new beginning out of adversity, but you win, whatever it is. Aries can be a very competitive card, so maybe there's some kind of competition in your business or something. Whatever it is, you win and you get a new beginning. You're moving forward in the wintertime, which officially starts December 21st, but it is December, January, February. That's why I think this is coming up pretty quickly, this new beginning. So basically, I think that's where we're at. There was a decision that needed to be made. You did not want to face the decision. Some information came in and you had to make a decision. You decided that you were going out there in the world and you were going to establish yourself. And you've been working really hard at it. You've been very stable. You've been very solid. You've been doing the work. You've been laying the foundation. You've been real methodical. Well, it's paying off, because very soon fortune shines on you and you get a new beginning, a victory. There's a victory coming, and I feel like you're going to be making more money, actually, is what I think it is. Or you're going to be doing better in your career. You're going to be, it's a promotion, it's a step up. All right, so for the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, I asked the question, what words of wisdom can you offer to pile twos based on this reading, like what's coming up for them right now? the sage is a very wise person. It says be devoted and committed. So I think two things here. I think first of all, continue being devoted, being committed, being methodical. It's going to pay off. Just continue down the path that you're going, because it's going to work and it's going to pay off very soon. But this also tells me may be a wise person that you can consult right now if you're stuck on something. If like I said, if there is some competition that you need to, I don't want to say squash, but if there's some competition out there, maybe there's someone that you can consult that can give you a little bit of an edge, that can help you figure out what you need to do to win, to move forward. And for the Sacred Traveler deck, I asked, what action does pile 2 need to take in regards to this? What do they need to do, if anything? And you got the message, ascending the mountain, keep going forward. So that just tells me, again, be devoted and committed, keep going forward. You're doing the right things, keep doing what you're doing, and it pays off very, very quickly. The wheel of fortune turns in your favor, and it pays off very quickly in the winter time, this winter. Very nice reading, you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. That's the message. Okay, that's all I have for my pile 2s. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, my friends. If you chose pile 3 for your weekly reading, December 6th through 12th, your tarot tips for the week, these are going to be your messages. And pile 3 had the Verdite quartz on it. I chose this because it reminded me of a Christmas tree. It's green, very forest looking green, but the meaning for the quartz is it helps you access and harmonize your past with your present so it will not affect your future. It helps you retrieve information from the ancient ones, which is cool. And it is a good stone for past life exploration, in case you want to get one of those and put it in your pocket. All right, here are your tarot tips for the week. I'm going to pull them all out at the same time, and then we'll talk about it. For the Radiant Rider-Waite, you got the Fool card, the Hanged Man. Oh, you got 4. You got the Star card and the King of Swords. I just got a couple from the Secrets of Tarot by Amanda Hall. These are tarot cards too, so I just got a couple for more further clarification. And you got the Chariot, and you got the Hanged Man again. Okay, for the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, you got Eagle, see from a higher perspective. And for the Sacred Traveler, you got Answering the Call, the time is now. Okay, you guys, this is interesting. Might have to sit with this for a minute, because you got the Hangman twice. Whenever that happens, Spirit is just like driving that message home. That means this is definitely has a lot to do with what is happening this week. So the Hangman is let's just go over here. I don't know that those necessarily go there. I think they might go over here. Okay. So let's talk about this Hangman. It is kind of what I call an adult timeout. It is things not moving forward, nothing really happening. And a lot of times this happens to us, like we just suspend action for a while because we can't see clearly. We can't. Everything that we try is just kind of not working. A lot of things are coming at us at the same time, and we just need to take a time out and look at things from a different perspective. And that looking at things from a different perspective is important. That's why he's hanging upside down, because he needs to see things from a different perspective. But that light here, that's the illumination, that's the light bulb, that's the aha moment. So when you do this, when you take time out from activity, because nothing's working, whether you like it or not, nothing's moving forward, you can't find your way through, this happens. It gives you an opportunity to look at things from a different perspective so you can get very clear on what it is that you want to do, what it is that you need to do, where you need to go next. And again, this is an aha moment. This is the idea that comes from the divine after a period of, it can be a little bit of a period of stagnation. But as far as this week is concerned, I feel like this card is more about perspective, because something is happening. Something pretty major is happening this week, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 5 technically. Though it's the same card, it's still 5 major arcana cards. So something happens this week that I don't know if it's a message. Actually, it is probably a message. Answering the call. It probably is a message that gives you an option. It gives you a fresh idea after a period of nothing, after a period of stagnation, after a period of just taking a time out to be, maybe to heal yourself. That happens a lot of times when you're taking a time out like that. Maybe you need to focus on, you know, balancing, finding balance within. But it is suspended animation, so it's a timeout. So after a period of nothing moving forward, something happens this week that gives you an option. I'm trying to figure out why the perspective is so important, because not only do you have the perspective in the Hangman here, looking at things from a different perspective here, you also in the Angels and Ancestors Oracle got Eagle, see from a higher perspective. So you really need to look at things from a different perspective this week. And what are you looking at? Okay, so honestly, you guys, I had to sit with this for a minute. Okay, okay, so we do have, like I said, 5 major arcana here, so this is pretty big, something that's coming up this week. And you do have all these cards of looking at things from a different perspective, and this card actually says looking at things from a higher perspective. So let's talk about these other cards that we have here. You have the Star card, which the Star comes after the Tower card, and the Tower card, if you remember, is just like a complete wiping the slate clean. It's the karmic garbage sweeper is what they call it. It's from the hand of divine, and something comes in and it just kind of destroys what, I don't want to say, something. It's usually something, right? It could be a relationship. It just wipes it out. Could be a job, just wipes it out. And it's always for the highest good. It's always because the reason that Tower comes along is because it's whatever you're working on is built on a bad foundation. So the Star card comes after the Tower card, and it is the card of hope. It is a very positive card. It's definitely a yes. If you're asking a yes or no question, it's a card of wish fulfillment. I always think of that song, When You Wish Upon a Star, when I see this card, because It is the card of after everything is gone, after when you start back at nothing, what you put out there, because you have to do some soul searching, right? What you put out there is what your heart desires. It is what you absolutely wish for. And this card is a card of hope that you can have what you wish for, but it's also a card of getting what it is that you wish for. Underneath that card, we have the Fool. The Fool is, again, the beginning of the major arcana in tarot. You have many full moments in your life. You have many moments when you're striking out into the unknown. You have absolutely no idea how it's going to turn out. You're not taking very much with you. You just got what you can fit in this little pack. You have maybe a trusty companion with you, your dog, and you have this flower here, this rose, to represent the hope for the journey that is going to turn out well. But you don't know, because you are literally taking a leap of faith off of that mountain there. And you just have to trust that the universe is going to catch you. Well, I can tell you it is going to catch you in a big way. So over here you have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is a minor arcana card for Libra. Libra is a card of fairness. It's a card of balance. The Libras have a hard time making a decision sometimes because they can see all sides of a situation. This can also be a card of an older gentleman. If it is not a Libra, it's an older gentleman that has a great deal of integrity. They're very intelligent. They make decisions from their head and not their heart. And if you notice, he is wielding the sword of truth. This is his sword of truth. What is your truth? That's what this card asks you to find out. But the Libra card, or the Libra, is also the card of justice, and that can be earthly justice, like maybe a legal system is involved with this situation. It can also mean karmic justice. And in this case, I feel like it means karmic justice, and I will tell you why here in a minute. The last card that you have here is the Chariot card. The Chariot is the card, major arcana for Cancer, but it's also the card of balancing opposing forces. You have two things here that are opposing. This guy, is it a guy in this card, in this deck? Yes, it is a guy in this deck. Right down the middle, keeping it all together, using sheer willpower, force, direction to keep it all together, to balance those opposing forces and move into a new direction. Okay, so that's one meaning for the card. Another meaning is this is the card of travel, and it can be a card of resident moves, like actually moving residents. So, what I think is happening here, and again, I did have to think on it for a long time. It's like, what is this higher perspective? What is this higher perspective? Why do you have to look at this from a higher perspective? I think that what's happening is you are leveling up. You are leveling up in your life in general. For a lot of people, I feel like it is a new job. So let's talk about this for a minute. So for the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, I asked, what general words of wisdom do you have for pile threes for what's happening this week? And you got Eagle, see from a higher perspective. For the Sacred Traveler, I asked the question, what does pile three need to do? And what action do they need to take in relation to what's happening this week, if anything? And you got answering the call, the time is now. I think that call is both literal and figurative. I think some of you are getting a call for a new job, and it takes you out into the world. You have absolutely no idea how it's going to turn out, but I do think it is two things. I think it is what you have wished for. It's the wish that you have put out into the universe, and it is also your destiny, answering the call. It is karmic, it is justice, it is what you deserve, and it seems like it's what you've deserved after a period of stagnation. Nothing moving forward. Nothing moving forward maybe for a very long time. Doing a lot of soul searching, going within, hanging from the tree, and just being in an adult timeout. And again, for some of you, that's been a very long time. That changes this week, and it changes in a big way. I believe for most of you, it changes with a phone call. Something happens. Now you can broaden that out to, in this day and age of communication, it could be an email, but some type of communication, probably not a text. It's probably formal. I think it's pretty formal. Something comes to you, a phone call, some communication comes to you that causes you to strike out in a new direction, in the unknown, that might mean some travel or a change of residence. But it's a new cycle because you begin the fool's journey again. You have no idea how it's going to turn out in the end, but it is what you wished for. You know that, and it is karmic justice that this opportunity comes into you. Like maybe you've wanted a new beginning for a long time, but nothing's been happening. Now is your time. Now is the time for you to strike out on this venture because you are ready. You have taken the time out, you've gone within, and you have looked at things from a higher perspective. So what is coming into you this week is your call. You're answering the call, and to me this is a call from your higher self, from your higher purpose, your higher we all have several purposes or several reasons for being here. We have karmic lessons that we need to work out. We come in contact with people that we need to help, or they need to help us. We need to teach them. They need to teach us. We have experiences that we've contracted for when we come into this lifetime. This happens throughout your life, continuously throughout your life. But for most of us, there is like a calling. There's a divine purpose for us to be here. A lot of people, or astrologers anyway, say that if you want to know what that is, you can look at your north node and south node, your north node in astrology, and a seasoned astrologer would be able to help you with that and give you some insight into what that might be for you. Whatever that is for you, this call that you get this week is a part of that higher purpose that you have. And you're going to answer the call. That's the advice from Spirit. That's what you need to do. You need to answer the call, take it up, and move forward, even though you don't know how it's going to turn out. It is a very hopeful venture. It's a very exciting venture, and it is contracted. It is what you are intended to do. So you're protected from. The angels are watching out for you. They're protecting you in this situation because this is your calling. This is your higher purpose, and it starts this week. Wow, that's very exciting, you guys. I think I'm going to leave it there. So congratulations, and put a comment down below on what exciting adventure you're going out on and what you think your calling is and what's coming up this week to answer for you that means you answering the call of your higher self and the purpose that you're here on earth for. Wow, congratulations. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste.